Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom. I have just witnessed Ipswich Town 2, Millwall 3. Should we just pack up now? Really horrible defeat for Ipswich today, leading at half time, playing really well in the first half, missing chances, one key substitution at half time, and like the game against Bristol City, a complete collapse, littered with calamitous mistakes from three of the back four in the second half. And this must-win game number 50 of the season, again, they have choked. And here is what happened. So Ipswich line up, Gherkin in goal, Spence Chambers, Pennington, Kenlock in at left back. We think Knudsen is off very soon and we're not going to be seeing him again. Chalobah, Downs, Bishop, really young midfield there. Lancaster off to the right, Sears off to the left, Harrison up front, up top. Millwall, no away wins this season without their top scorer Gregory, and I think Hutchinson's normally their captain, key man at the back as well. So a chance to beat a team at home who are low in the table and haven't won an away game all season. Millwall, Archer in goal, Romeo, Murray Wallace, Cooper, Meredith across the back, Ferguson down the right, Leonard Tunnicliffe in centre midfield, Jed Wallace down the left, Elliott up front with Aidan O'Brien, a midfielder. So looking at the teams, the cards did look somewhat stacked against Millwall. This was a real chance that Ipswich have not taken today, but a chance that was taken was the first chance of the game. A brilliant start by Ipswich. They go 1-0 up after just 2 minutes, and we have to say a good piece of refereeing here, because in the build up to this, the ball breaks to Sears in centre midfield as he plays it out wide to the right to Lancaster. He gets taken out by Cooper. Ref waves play on. Lancaster is in the inside right position. He's going to have a run at Meredith. In he goes into the box, engages Meredith, shifts it to the left, hits it early, uses Meredith as the screen. It's a lovely low curler, right line, right pace into the corner. Archer can't see it because he's used Meredith as the screen, and it's 1-0 to Ipswich. Brilliant start, great moment for Lancaster, his first professional goal. Another assist for Sears, and we did score from the referee's advantage there on 8 minutes. Brilliant chance for Ipswich. Just watch the pattern of this first half. They should have gone in more than one goal ahead. Throw down the line. Harrison, he wins the header. He does brilliantly. He wins the header and then chases after it himself and goes down the right. He puts it into the box. There's men up, numbers up. It gets a lucky bounce. It's rolling away from the goal in the 6-yard box. Falls to Sears. He jumps on it, hits it first time, and it's a point blank save. Sears and Archer both converge on the ball. Archer makes the save. Good chance for 2-0 there. Good stuff from Ipswich, playing really well. Down the right, Spence does well. Crosses in all the way over. Sears, he has a touch. Could he have hit this one first time? And he's blocked out for a corner. On 18, Wallace comes off the line into the 10 position, shoots right from 30 yards. That was as close as Millwall got in that first period. Bishop drives into the box. Down he goes. No decision from the referee. Bishop whips the free kick in on 21 from the left-hand side. Curling in. Harrison's under pressure. He wins the header. Heads it over. On 24, Sears goes down the left. It's a great overlap from Kenlock. He dinks the cross in. Harrison pulls back his run. He chests it down. He smashes it on the volley with the left foot. It's flying goalwards. I don't know who that hit. I hope it wasn't an Ipswich head. If it was an Ipswich head, that was a goal-saving clearance. If it was a Millwall head, that was good defending. Good technique from Harrison. Did all he could with it. I'll spout out the cliche. If he miskicks that low to either side, he probably scores and it trickles in the corner because no one can see it. Brilliant play down the right here. Lancaster to Bishop. We're 28 minutes in to Downs. Lovely first-time football. Lays it across. Sears is 8 yards out from goal. He's running onto it. He relaxes. He hits it right footed. He doesn't lift the shot. Tunnicliffe comes flying across and makes the block. I love Freddie Sears. He's been in very good form in front of goal. He should have got a bit of lift on that. Well, with hindsight, it's a lovely thing. But a third great chance for Ipswich there on 20 minutes to go in 2-0 up. Moving on from there, from the corner, it goes in. Pennington's coming out. He's in a 50-50 with Tom Elliott. Pennington goes down really easily. He's looking for a pen, and Millwall counter is fed forward to Jed Wallace. He's got it from halfway. I don't think Kenlock realised how quick Wallace is, because he runs off and covers deep, but Wallace just drives forward. He comes right up into the penalty area. He's fairly wide right, hits the shot, and Gherkin makes the save. 1-on-1, that breakaway, Millwall's only chance. Good save, Gherkin. Half time, I'm not exaggerating, Ipswich dominate the first half. Just that one breakaway, great goal from Lancaster, then the chance for Sears when it breaks from in the 6-yard box, then Harrison's volley, and then Sears, if he just lifts that, he is bound to score from inside the penalty box. They're playing really well, but this is Ipswich Town 2018-2019 season, and maybe deep down we all knew what was coming, because we've seen it at Reading against Bristol City. Good first half performances. Preston at home as well, unable to be converted into the win, and it's a key tactical change by Harris. So on comes Steve Morrison, and I see him trot on, and I think, oh, so they're going to bring O'Brien back into midfield or what have you. But no, he takes off the left back. So Meredith goes off. Ferguson goes and plays at left back, and I've never seen Millwall play like this. A 4-2-3-1. So the two midfielders sit a little bit deeper, Tunnicliffe and Leonard, and you get a line of three behind Tom Elliott, with Jed Wallace. He's in the 10 position down the middle. O'Brien has gone down the left. And Steve Morrison is going to be used over on the right-hand side, and he's going to hang off Miles Kenlock, a much younger, much shorter defender. Millwall, we know they're going to play direct, but they basically take their wingers out of the game, narrow it up a little bit, and would Ipswich have a response? Some 48, Sears in off the left, 25-yarder, screwed that one right. 50, Wallace crosses from the right. Gherkin's in trouble here, tips that one over. Corner is cleared, second phase in by Leonard. Murray Wallace is up well in the box. He heads it over. Good move by Ipswich on 55. Downs to Bishop to Lancaster. Spence on the overlap. He drives the cross. It's not a good cross. It comes in waist height for Harrison on the near post, who tries to sort his legs out and can't get it on target. On 57, opens up for Chalobah. Another one of these moments where I would say to the crowd, don't yell shoot at a player who's not good at long distance shooting. He's got players ahead of him. It's on his left foot. Everyone yells shoot. He hits the left footer straight at the keeper. And here we go, because here comes the Ipswich collapse. And we've seen it since Morrison has come on. He's stationed himself on Miles Kenlock. Ipswich haven't figured out a way. I mean, no extra attention is paid to Morrison being in that position. I guess the answer being, well, there's going to be a space behind him, and if we can get into the game as Ipswich, we can move into that space. But Cooper has it. Big diagonal goes forward, and Morrison has drifted inside. It's the extra big man up front. He gets the flick on diagonally into the box, I guess 10 yards out. Chambers is in there with Tom Elliott. Elliott gets goal side. He gets the run on Chambers. He gets the touch on the ball first. Chambers brings him down. Penalty. 59 minutes. Ferguson is going to step up. Gherkin kind of moves a little bit to the right. Ferguson hits it well to Gherkin's left. And it's 1-1, and you hope Ipswich can show some character and stay in this game, but unfortunately it's going to be Bristol City all over again, and a game that you would even be disappointed to draw at one stage, they're going to completely throw with some kamikaze defending of the absolute worst kind. On 63, Paul Lambert gets booked. A rarity. I don't think I've seen that at Portman Road yet. The Ipswich manager getting booked. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. So often Lambert not happy with some of the Middlesbrough physicality, I think particularly on Harrison, and that boils over and he comes over and gets the yellow card. Dazelle comes in for Ted Bishop to play the same role. 65, Morrison is late on Chalobah, much to Lambert's ire, right in front of him. And on 67, you couldn't write this goal. It is so pathetic, it's not true. First off, I think it's Downs makes a tackle. He wins the ball, but with his follow through, very similar to the Inciala one on Forestieri, Morrison gets taken down. Okay, so stage one possibly wasn't a free kick anyway, but there's still about another 8 cock-ups before this is going to end up in the back of the net. So the free kick's off to the far right-hand side, and Millwall, fine, I don't object to this style of football at all. They're going to put it in deep. It's floated in quite a flat one, and I think the whole ground, other than Jordan Spence, sees Luke Chambers climb up and just get what is a fairly decent defensive header to flip the ball away. Spence obviously thinks this has come off a Millwall head, but the caveat here is he's got loads of time, so the ball is rolling quite gently. Spence has got a bit of space, and inexplicably he lets the ball roll out for a corner. It's an appalling mistake by Spence. Look, I guess if you see it wrong, you see it wrong, but if there's any amount of doubt, and I mean, it's the cautious thing to do anyway, because you can take the ball, he could have moved away, got the lines cleared, but he obviously thinks it's a goal kick. And I think every Ipswich fan knows once that mistake's going to be made, well, we'll probably cock up and they're going to score from the corner. But even worse, on top of this, they line up for the corner, and I think everyone in the ground, Steve Morrison is stood on the back corner of the area. I'm not joking, watch it back. You could draw a circle radius of 8 yards around him. There is nobody near him. Now the Millwall players, Morrison's waving, you know, give me the ball, I'm completely open. The Millwall players don't actually see to begin with. I think possibly the corner goes short. I don't recall. I'm too busy incandescently looking at Morrison thinking, what the hell are you doing? This guy is a danger. It does in the end work its way across to Morrison. He's completely free, and it's a good bit of quality actually from Morrison. He takes a touch, lovely dink cross to the back post. They're completely overloaded. Elliott, nice header back across, and every time we play Millwall, here comes Jake Cooper, heads it in. It's just catastrophic, disastrous, terrible, pathetic, whatever you want to call it. How many mistakes in there? Okay, you can argue in the first instance the free kick was harsh. Spence, idiotic decision to let that go out for a corner. Any doubt, just hoof it down the pitch and move up. Jesus Christ, man. And then, why? Steve Morrison, he's, what, 6'4"? Huge bloke with a captain's armband, grey hair, just stands out a little bit, left completely clear. Oh my God. And Jake Cooper now, I'm sure they've spoken about it. I'm sure they have spoken about it. But scored at Portman Road last season in the 2-2. 2 assists in the 3-0 a few months ago, and a goal here. If we do get relegated, I'll be pleased to see the back of Jake Cooper. That's all I'll say. There, the stuffing knocked out of Ipswich there. The game settles for a bit, and just to add insult to injury, Lambert is going to make an attacking substitution move, and we're going to concede a goal straight away. So quite a brave one, because he takes Chalobah out. Chalobah is the kind of holding midfielder in that team in the absence of Skews. Oh, Skews, God, how we're missing him. It's a 4-4-2. Jackson comes in, so Sears comes out onto the left wing. But no sooner has he done that, one centre-half has conceded a penalty. The right back has let the ball go for a goal kick, and it's actually a corner, and they've scored from a corner. we're going to have Pennington get in on the act. Now, look, I know Pennington's a very good player and he's done well since his loan. You know, he's a younger player on loan. It's not his responsibility to, you know, carry Ipswich through. He does a lot of good things. But again, it's a horrible goal. Just stuff that if you did, in no disrespect to League Two footballers or conference footballers, that would be ridiculed at that level. So it's a long ball into the channel. Elliott and Pennington are battling, and the ridiculous thing is that Pennington wins the battle. So they're going, I think, into the penalty box, maybe just outside, and Pennington has shrugged Elliott off, but he's not in a calm state, and he's going to try and play a back pass to Gherkin from the right-hand side of the box. He completely underhits the back pass, sells Gherkin short. Gherkin comes out. This is not Gherkin's fault. The ball, it must be Elliott charges the ball down. It goes loose. I think, excuse me if I'm getting this right, I think it's O'Brien. Does quite well to keep the ball in. He knocks it back. Elliott is sort of 2 yards out and I think might even put it through Gherkin's legs for the goal. It's just terrible. Utterly terrible. Mistake by Chambers to give away the penalty. Mistake by Spence. Mistake by Pennington. Huge collapse. So similar to Bristol City down that end. 3 goals. Shell shock. Millwall fans love it. They're going to get their first away win of the season. If you want to break any kind of bad run, come and play Ipswich. We've fought that for a couple of years. You just could not make it up. 79 fed into Harrison, works half a yard, deflects through, easy gather for Archer. Wallace drags one wide at the other end. Harris, credit to Harris, he's made his attacking substitution. He's going to bring Webster in for Elliott now, and they go sort of 4-1-4-1, more orthodox midfield shape that we're used to for Millwall. But on 88, some hope. It's the hope that kills you for Ipswich. And for all the people who are going to criticise the referee's performance today, there was a couple of interesting decisions. We actually score a second goal from an advantage here. So Kenlock, good battling by him down the left-hand side. He plays it into Harrison. Webster goes through the back of Harrison. Harrison actually springs up and the ref gives an advantage. He moves forward, it drops, it kind of rolls infield, diagonally backwards towards Jackson. He hasn't got a lot of time. It's an absolutely brilliant finish by Jackson. He's 25 yards out, facing the wrong way. Man coming in to tackle him. He swoops back on the ball, cuts the shot in, curling away from Archer, in off the post. Absolutely brilliant finish from Jackson. And from the deep doldrums of despair, possibly, can we do a Norwich or a Leeds and score a stoppage time goal to make it 3-3? 6 minutes of injury time goes up. 2 corners for Ipswich. The second one falls to Harrison. He underhits the shot. Can anyone get a touch on it? I think there's a slight stud goes on it, and it rolls through to Archer. That was the chance. Karachan comes in for Wallace just to shore up the midfield. And there you have it, 3-2. Sorry, I've gone a bit long. I'll try and summarise quickly. I wrote in my book, at 3-1, just to announce relegation. Just another terrible collapse, so similar to the Bristol City thing. That game should have been out of sight in the first half. And if we talk about the first half, it was a really good performance. Harrison was good up front. Bustle did really well. Lancaster obviously got the goal. Bishop and Downs dovetailed quite well. Kenlock, I know there's going to be a lot of Kenlock-Knudsen type talk. Kenlock played well. Possibly the team looks better balanced with him in. He has a better first touch than Knudsen, and certainly his range of passing is better than Knudsen's. But, and this is where Lambert might take a small iota of the blame, because it was the same thing against Bristol City. I remember one tweak at half-time. It was Eliasson swapping wings, and we kind of know what's coming. Morrison comes in, the 4-2-3-1 shape is deployed by Neil Harris, and I think Kenlock needed some help. And I'll wind up Ipswich fans by saying this. Almost could have done with Knudsen marking Morrison in that second half. I'm being a little bit contrary by saying that, I know. But the aerial threat and the physical threat would have been better suited to Knudsen than Kenlock. But look, I think the Knudsen ship has sailed, and I'm pleased to see Kenlock in. And he did play well, but he was exposed against a cleverer, a bigger, fresher, more powerful player than he, and they went narrow, they got the long balls up, and then when you ask Ipswich a question, unfortunately this season Ipswich will collapse. Feeble mistake from Spence for the second goal. Chambers gave the penalty away from the first goal. Feeble mistake from Pennington. I know Pennington's had a good season, but it was a crap back pass and it's collapsed again. Nice goal from Jackson. I'm sure he'll probably start against his former club Accrington next week. But that's it. We came into this month. These were the games we'd been waiting for. Millwall, Accrington, Rotherham, and we've lost. And we've lost in the worst way as well. Playing well and completely collapsing. Individual mistakes at the back. Whether or not Lambert could have done anything tactically about that sort of 4-2-3-1, or whether it was just brave from Millwall to have Morrison just up against Kenlock, I don't know, but I think we all saw where the goals were going to come from. Morrison heads down for the penalty. He assists the second one. Very, very, very depressing. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you're a Millwall fan, let me know what you thought. You could have been buried at half-time. I think Harris needs to take some credit. And it's a good run for Millwall at the moment. We say they're a momentum team. It didn't look good in the first half, but they've come away. They've got the win. And with that direct style and the threat they've got up front, they really pulled Ipswich's pants down in the second half. I don't know if there's any point me asking Ipswich fans. It's 10 points, the gap. But come on, look at the goal differences. 11 points. It really, really looks unassailable unless we can pull some rabbits out of hats in the transfer market. Just the fragility of that team and the ability to throw away good performances with just abject, pathetic defending at the back. 3 of the back 4 at fault today. Nice to see Kenlock in. Nice to see Lancaster get his first goal. Perhaps some foreshadowing of some players who are going to be able to cope in League One next year. I'm not giving up. I'm not going to give up. But come on, not looking good. Key game against Rotherham, but not going to call it a must-win anymore. We've had too many of them this season already and thrown them all away. Sorry it's a bit long. Sorry it's a bit ranting. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be back with a Championship live stream tomorrow morning. So even if you are a Millwall fan watching and a fan of another team, it's worth following because I'll talk about your team tomorrow. Follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. Happy New Year.